And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship stream. You could be watching from anywhere around the country or the world, and I really appreciate that. Coming to you from the Spaceship Studios from a galaxy far, far away. Hello, everyone. And this is a surprise live. I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day. We will talk about the article. We'll talk about that we were reading the other night. Also, some news about the inmates, things with Diddy, and other stuff that we talk about. Alright, so, going to flip over here. And hello, everybody. It's me, Alien Spaceship. I hope everybody's been doing well, having a good evening, good day, whatever it is where you all are. Where y'all are. Now, what I will do is I'll start the game for a little bit and play it while we talk about things, and then we will get into the other stuff that we do. Now, I didn't see if it needed to be updated, but we'll find out. Okay. I don't know if the game is up and running. We'll see. Scared. Alright, the game looks like it's just kind of hanging in there. So what we'll do is we'll read about the pirates instead while we have people come through. I'll have this open again. Maybe it needs a warm up. Okay. Hello, Frog and Anna. It is great to see both of you. Welcome. I was, getting some different things together, and now I can see you all over there. Okay. So, I'll talk about what I was doing yesterday. Hello, Cecil. You were there this morning at some point during that Karen Reed. Some internet had some problems, so I couldn't get on, and something with the phone connection, so not connection, but with the phone, I couldn't get on the tell you all something. But I got on later and talked to some of the people in there. But tomorrow I should be there as usual. It sounds a little low. Thank you. Okay. All right. So do I sound better now? Hopefully I sound better now. Okay. So anyway. Yeah, so I hope everybody had a good Memorial Day, and we have our little audience here, so I am going to... Hello, Bedro, it's great to see you. So what I'm going to do, I will read about Memorial Day, and then after that, I will get into the other topics we discuss. Okay, so let's get started right now. All right. Yesterday, I was in some other chat room, and I was having some discussions about Christianity, and it went very well. It went excellent. Good points on both sides. Then we got into this troll was being unnerving, and then towards the 5 or 6 in the morning, the dude became really cool, and he was talking about cryptids. Basically I could take a joke. I don't mind the joke. Or it was kind of going back and forth with these kind of trolling jokes, and we're just kind of playing along with it. So yeah, and then the two trolls were fighting each other. It was quite funny. Then he was cool. Then he was talking about the cryptids. So the two cryptids that I was told about is the skunk ape and the mysterious helper. Those are the two that I was told about. And I thought that was quite fascinating. The mysterious helper sounds familiar, but I'm not really familiar with that. The other one, the skunk ape, probably, but not ringing a complete bell. All right. So as I said, I had an interesting night. It was quite wild. So I always was good since I've been on this platform for a while, and I've been in live streams, and sometimes with trolls, I will troll them back, and sometimes I roast them. Other times, I can get them to be friendly with me and get them to chill out. And other people have done that as well, and that's good. and it originated from me. I'm the one that, through other people that are much wiser than me, YouTubers from a couple of years ago had tutorials on debates and stuff, and I learned from them. But as I said, it's a good skill to have. But sometimes with trolls, it's kind of funny to uh, uh, rap battle them or roast them back and forth. So I do different things. I don't do the same thing over and over. I change up what I do. All right, so now we'll talk about Memorial Day. Shout out to all of you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Greetings, Durid of LA. It's great to see you here. Welcome. Shout out to the green trees. And I'm going to be talking about Memorial Day to kick it off. And then, as the stream goes on, we will talk about the other stuff as well. All right, here we go. I also want to mention is that 3 inmates from the New Orleans prison jailbreak, 3 have been captured, and there's 2 remaining. All right. Memorial Day is a federal holiday in the United States for mourning the U.S. military personnel who passed away while serving the United States Armed Forces. Gracious greetings, Eugene. It is observed on the last Monday of May. It is unofficial beginning of summer in the United States. Oh, yes, Frog. Yes, Frog. Thank you for that. And yes, I'm quite aware of the little troll in you. Shout out to the frogs. That beautiful cricket, not cricket noising, but the beautiful noises in the night the frogs make. Shout out to the frogs. All right. Memorial Day is a time for visiting cemeteries and memorials to mourn the military personnel who were deleted in the line of duty. Volunteers will place American flags on the graves of those military personnel in the national cemeteries. The first national observance of Memorial Day occurred on May 30, 1868, then known as the Decoration Day, and observed on May 30. The holiday was proclaimed by Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan, the Grand Army of the Republic, honor of the Union soldiers who have been died in action for the Grand Army of the Republic, to honor the soldiers that passed on in the American Civil War. So it started with the American Civil War first. Then it went into other things later. I didn't see that, Cecil, but that's something I have to go look at clips of. But thank you for letting me know about it. I'm sure it was wonderful. Yes, Dirt of LA. I remember that. And we're still talking about this, but I'm going to derail this for a moment. Yes, Dirt of LA. I remember it was a couple of years ago, and they were going to raid Area 51, and there is so many memes that came out about it when the Capitol riot occurred after the first in 2020. And people will say it's different things, and I'm not here to say one way or another, but the incident that happened January 6th that occurred, they made memes that this is how you raid something, because Area 51, they stood outside of it and waved and held signs, but they're saying that that's the difference. They had like a Simpsons comic, and the dude was hitting the guy in the back of the kid in the back of the head, and he said, "That's how you do a raid, boy." Yes, I remember that. It's like what Area 51 was supposed to be, and what Area 51 actually was. I will look up when that was. It was 2019. Yeah, it was in 2019. It was like 2 years or a year after I graduated high school, something like that. I remember when that was going on. This national observance followed many local observances, which were inaugurated between the end of the Civil War and Logan's Declaration. Many cities and people have claimed to be the first to observe it. However, National Cemetery Administration Division of the Department of Veterans Affairs credited Mary Ann Williams with the originating the idea of strewing the graves of the Civil War, soldiers, Union, and Confederate, with flowers. You had almost forgotten about it. Yeah, it's crazy to think about like 2017, 18, and 19 were so long ago. I mean, because we could all relate that it's just kind of it was like it was yesterday, and we remember when it was new, but now it's like a long time ago. It's wild. Official recognition of the holiday spread among the states, beginning with New York in 1873. Miranda said, "Yo, it's my Friday. The drinks are about to roll in. Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Happy Taco Tuesday to you, Miranda. My dear friend, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the nice Taco Tuesday greetings." Official recognition as the holiday spread among the states, beginning with New York in 1873. By 1890, every Union soldier had adapted it. The World Wars turned into a day of remembrance for all the members of the U.S. military who fought and were passed away in battle in service in 1968. Congress changed its observance to the last Monday in May, and in 1971 standardized its name for Memorial Day. Two other days celebrate those who have served or serving the U.S. military armed forces Day, which is earlier in May, an unofficial U.S. holiday for honoring those currently serving in the armed forces. Sounds like it'll be chicken tacos tonight. Oh, I love chicken. That's yummy. Absolutely. Which was earlier in May, an unofficial U.S. holiday for honoring those currently serving in the armed forces and Veterans Day. On November 30, on November 11, which honors all those who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Origins. A variety of cities and people have claimed origination of Memorial Day in some such cases. The claims relate to documented events occurring before or after the Civil War. Others may stem from original traditions of decorating soldiers' graves with flowers rather than specific events. Leading to a national proclamation, soldiers' graves were decorated in the U.S. before and during the American Civil War. Other claims may be less respectable, appearing some researchers as taking credit without evidence while erasing better evidenced events or connections. Durid says, "In the Army I found a tradition of setting an empty plate for the fallen." Oh, that's very nice. That's very sweet. And shout out to all those that have served this country, and that's why we are free to have freedom of speech, which I believe in and value very much. And also for this country to be a free place and not under any sort of tyranny. So I do appreciate the people that have fought for this nation. I just love any kind of tacos, but tamales are the best. Oh yeah, I love tamales. My grandma would make some really nice ones. I love eating those. They get them for this, get them like not from the frozen food, but made directly. It was from this other small store that makes them naturally. That was very nice. Yeah, I agree, Frog. Virginia. On 1861, Warrenton, Virginia, was the location of the first Civil War soldiers' grave to be decorated, according to an article, Richmond Times Dispatch, in 1906. This decoration was for the funeral of the first soldier deleted during the Civil War, John Quincy Marr, who was deleted on June 1, 1861, during a skirmish at the Battle of Fairfax Courthouse in Virginia. Cecil said, sad that so many people passed in the wars. Guess I didn't realize the numbers were so high. Oh yeah, Cecil, and I have been, only alive for 27 years, and I have quite a bit to learn as I go. There's more things for me to learn as I age. Although I say this humbly, many believe I've acquired much at the age that I'm at. Basically, I remember seeing the casualties from the wars, and yeah, it was so many people, and especially from your perspective, Cecil, that you didn't even know it was that much. Yeah, it's a lot of casualties. In the Vietnam War, for instance, the walls, there's so many names, so many names. Although in the Vietnam War, the Americans actually got more people deleted than the Viet Cong did, and actually deleted more people. But it was just the terrain. Now they do say that allegedly they were going to surrender to us, but the last minute they pulled out. They say that about a couple of wars. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that there is likely a complex of things that want to start conflicts and wars, perhaps for certain reasons. But those on that, all people that fight in wars, they had their reasons for doing so. All veterans of all different sides, that they fought for what they believed, and especially we honor the American soldiers and their sacrifice. Whatever war it was, it's good. They fought like tigers, and that's a great thing. Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond is a great place for historical exploration. Thank you, Eugene, for that information. Very good idea. Oh yeah, very rich history. Yeah, Virginia tobacco. That's a very nice tobacco to grow. So yeah, very historical place. In the Vietnam War, the Medivac helicopters ran 24/7. Yep, that's true. Thank you, Dirt of LA. I will do that. Thank you. All right, Jackson, Mississippi. On April 26, 1865, in Jackson, Mississippi, Sue Landon Vaughan decorated the graves of Confederate and Union soldiers. According to her account, the first reference of the event, however, did not appear. Hello, Sharon. It's good to see you, dear. Union soldiers, according to her account, the first reference to the event, however, did not appear until many years later. Mention of the observance inscribed in the southeastern panel of the Confederate monument in Jackson, erected 1891. Vaughan's account is contradicted by the contemporary sources. It's silly AI take on aliens. Oh, I'm sure it is silly, David. Right. Oh, TJ, it's been a while. It's been a while. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, everybody. Charleston, South Carolina. On May 1, 1865, in Charleston, South Carolina, the recently... Oh, hello, Sheree. It is good to see you. Welcome. On May 1, 1865, in Charleston, South Carolina, the recently freed black population held parade of 10,000 people in honor of the 257 deleted Union soldiers. The soldiers had buried in mass grave of Washington Race Course have been deleted in the Confederate prison camp located there. After the city fell, the free black population unearthed the properly buried soldiers, placing flowers at their graves. The event was reported contemporaneously in the Charleston Daily Courier. In the New York Tribune, historian David Blight has called this commemoration the first Memorial Day. However, no direct link has been established between this event and General Logan's 1868 proclamation for national holiday. Yeah, that is true, TJ. I agree. Columbus, Georgia. The National Cemetery Administration, a division of the Department of Veterans Affairs, and scholars attribute to the beginning of the Memorial Day practice in South to a group of women of Columbus, Georgia. The women were the Ladies Memorial Association of Columbus. They were represented by Mary Ann Williams, Miss Charles J. Williams, who, as association secretary, wrote an open letter to the press on March 11, 1866, asking assistance in establishing an annual holiday to decorate the graves of soldiers throughout the South. The letter was reprinted in several southern states, and the plans were noted in the newspapers in the North. The date of April 26 was chosen, which corresponded with the end of the war with the surrender agreement between the generals Johnston and Sherman in 1865. That's hilarious, Eugene. Thank you. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day. Hope everybody is having a good evening too. We can keep alive the memory of debate. Not debate. That was a Freudian slip, by the way. I did a Freudian slip there. We can keep alive the memory of debt we owe them by dedicating at least one day in the year, by embellishing their humble graves with flowers. Therefore, we beg assistance in the press and the ladies throughout the South to help us in the effort to set apart the certain day to be observed from the Potomac to the Rio Grande, and to be handed down through the time as religious assistance oppressed ladies throughout the South to help us through efforts to set apart certain day observed from the Potomac to the Rio Grande, and be handed down through the times of religious custom and country to wreath the graves of our martyred deleted with flowers. Let the soldiers' graves for that day at least be the southern Mecca, to whose shrine her sorrowing women like pilgrims may annually bring their grateful hearts and floral offerings. Mary Ann Williams, March 11, 1866. Sharon, I had a splendid one. I found out some interesting things, and I had a good time the other night with some other people in a chat having a civilized discussion about Christianity. It was very good, just as I always have the good discussions and topics of others about the different things. And as I said, it was really good, and the dots are connecting. Some things didn't make any sense, but especially today, everything is making more sense in a positive direction. So yes, it was a very good Memorial Day, and I reflected on those soldiers that passed away. Oh yes, Sharon, I will tell. The holiday was observed in Atlanta, Augusta, and Macon, Columbus, and elsewhere, in Georgia, as well as Montgomery, Alabama, Memphis, and Tennessee, Louisville, and Kentucky, New Orleans, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, and across the South. And some cities, mostly Virginia, other dates in May and June were observed. General John Logan committed on the observances in the speech to veterans on July 4, 1866, in Salem, Illinois, after Logan's General Order Number 11 to the Grand Army of the Republic to observe May 30, 1868. The earlier version of the holiday began to be referred to as a Confederate Memorial Day. Columbus, Mississippi. Following Mary Williams' call for assistance for women of the Columbus, Mississippi, a day early on in April 25 in 1866, gathered together as Friendship Cemetery to decorate the graves of the Confederate soldiers. They also felt moved to honor the Union soldiers buried there and to note the grief of their families by decorating their graves as well. The story of the gesture of humanity and reconciliation is held by some writers of the inspiration of the original Memorial Day. Average age of soldier that lost their life in World War II was 23 years old. So sad. You know, Cecil, I saw a picture on Facebook one time of this soldier writing a letter to his lover that that he will marry her, there will be flowers, there will be joy, and they will have a daughter. And it was an unknown soldier that passed away in the war. Our freedom was not free. Our freedom was bought for a price. And I believe, and that's why we have our freedoms to do as we choose, to believe whatever religion we want, to debate others if we disagree with them in a respectful manner. Although sometimes it could get out of hand, and that's always nice and spicy. Also, we have freedom of speech, which I firmly believe. And also, hello, Michael Hunt. It's great to see you. So, basically, that, because our freedom was not free. It had to be paid with a price. And all those young men that were passed away in action, they sacrificed their youth and all, but they sacrificed everything for us, that we're not taken over by some other country. We're not taking over, or we're not still part of, the British Empire. It's good that America broke away from the British Empire and did its own independent thing. So, shout out to all the veterans for this country. And respect for all soldiers in all countries that did fight for whatever they thought was right. Also, all right. Continuing. Michael, I hope that you had a very good evening and a good Memorial Day. Other Southern precedents. According to the United States Library of Congress, Southern women decorated the graves of soldiers even before the Civil War's end. Records show that by 1865, Mississippi, Virginia, and South Carolina all had precedents for Memorial Day. The earliest Southern Memorial Day celebrations were simple, somber occasions for veterans and their families to honor the deleted, and then tend to local cemeteries. In the following years, the Ladies Memorial Association and other groups increasingly focused on rituals, on preserving the Confederate culture and lost cause of the Confederate narrative. In my humble opinion, I think it's good that America is not divided into two different countries. I am glad that America is not divided into two different countries. And I think it's good that we are a united country. We are a United States. And I think that it is a positive thing that we are not like North and South Korea. Although both the North and the South, I believe, did have slavery, I do think that it's good slavery was abolished. And that, I'm glad that was taken care of. And then all people could be free to pursue their happiness, whatever they want to do in their lives. Tonight is not anything about Tim Pool. Tonight is about the Memorial Day, talking about some news and some paranormal stuff. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In 1863, cemetery dedication of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania included the ceremony of commemoration of the graves of deleted soldiers. Some have therefore claimed that President Abraham Lincoln was founder of Memorial Day. However, Chicago journalists Lloyd Lewis tried to make the case that Lincoln's funeral that was spurred the soldiers. It's okay, Michael. It's okay, Michael. I've seen Tim Pool before. I've seen some things he did. I don't really know what he talks about. I've seen some stuff about different topics, uh, but I don't know exactly what he was doing. But it's okay, Michael. I don't take offense. I'm all good. Uh, I'm a bit. I'm a little just. I just go with the flow. All right. However, Chicago journalist Lloyd Lewis tried to make a case that it was Lincoln's funeral that spurred the soldiers' grave declaration that followed. And I believe Abraham Lincoln made the ultimate sacrifice for our Union, for the United States, because he was actually assassinated on Good Friday, and he, lost his life. But it's good he did what he had to do to unite the nation. And as I said, I think that it's wrong for it to be two different countries. And I think that there are powers that be that wanted this country divided. Like today, I believe there's still people that want the country divided. And there's people back then that wanted it divided into two different pieces. Because we have to be a united country. We can't be two different things. Although they tried to rip us apart politically, I think it's good to have unity as much as possible. And Eugene says, I remember a so-called time traveler said America would be divided up into different districts and controlled by foreign powers. I hope that never happens. Eugene, I think it would be a bit difficult for that. Look, I don't know what the future holds, but God holds the future. And if it does happen, we will be able to overcome it, and we will fight for victory and freedom as before. And look, it could happen, but that's okay. We will come back. Another thing is that it would be difficult to do that because we're on an island, and it's such a big place. It would be difficult to keep it together, but it's possible. It's very possible that may occur. But everybody has their bare arms and stuff, so we'll see what happens, and hopefully it doesn't. But at least we know that may happen. We can't control what happens, Eugene, but we can control our reaction to things. So I think that is the most important thing that we could do, and hopefully that it doesn't happen, but if it does, we'll still be okay. And he wears a beanie because he's bald, and he's always whines, no sir, I don't like him. Tim Pool, that is. Yeah, Tim Pool's a grifter, and I have a full head of hair. I have a full head of hair. I'm not balding or anything. But I think that, the alien hat is a good custom to the show, but yeah, my hair is a little bit longer right now, but yeah, I have a full head of hair, and I just like to wear the hat for the alien symbol on it, and it's a nice little touch to the show. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, I don't wear it because I'm bald. I like wearing hats. I wear hats all the time. All right. So continuing. Scared. Yeah, I heard he's a grifter. He's a Timu grifter. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah. On July 4, 1864, ladies decorated soldiers' graves, according to local historians, in Bowlesburg, Pennsylvania. Bowlesburg promotes itself as the birthplace of Memorial Day. However, no published reference has been found earlier than the printing of the history of the 148th Pennsylvania Volunteers in 1904, and a footnote to a story about her brother. Miss Sophie Keller, Hall described how she and Emma Hunter decorated the grave of Emma's father, Reuben Hunter, and then the graves of all soldiers in cemetery. Original story did not account for the Reuben Hunter's deletion occurring 2 months later in September 1864. It also did not mention Miss Elizabeth Myers as one of the original participants. A bronze statue of 3 women gazing upon Reuben Hunter's grave now stands near the entrance of the Bollesburg Cemetery. Although July 4, 1864 was a Monday, the town now claims that the original decoration was on one of the Sundays in October 1864. My hat made me go bald from wearing it too much. Be careful, young man. Oh, thank you, Michael. And my opinion from the research that I did, I do not think that causes balding. It has to do with this certain type of compound that connects to another compound, and it DHT, I think it's called, and it causes the hair to fall out. And it's also something genetic, and it could also be something stress related. But as I said, I'm not. This is the research I've done about it. But as I said, it could cause it. I will be careful, Michael. I will be careful. I'm not saying that I know more than you. I'm still a learner. I've heard other things, but that is a possibility, and thank you for the heads up. Thank you very much. I don't wear hats too much, just for momentarily, not all the time. And I will even do more research on it to see if I'm right or not, because I could be wrong, and I'm still learning. On May 5, 1868, General John A. Logan, General Logan does work, but his full name I want to say, issued a proclamation calling for the Declaration Day to observe nationwide. He was Commander-in-Chief of the Grand Army of the Republic, GAR, an organization and for the Union Civil War veterans founded Decatur, Illinois. With his proclamation, Logan adopted the Memorial Day practice that had begun in the southern states 2 years earlier. The northern states quickly adapted the holiday. In 1868, memorial events were held in 183 cemeteries in 27 states and 336 in 1869. One author claims that the date was chosen because it was not the anniversary particular battle. Logan's wife noted that the date was chosen because it was optimal date, followed by the bloom in the north. Michael said, I always wore a hat, and I have very high testosterone right now in the middle of my hair. Got thin and fell out when I was 40. I looked like Patrick Stewart, but with black hair. It was a sad day. Oh, yeah. And I think with hormones, like contrary to people think, I think having, this is from a doctor on YouTube. He was saying that it was to have a balance between the two different testosterone and estrogen to be balanced in men and women. Because if it gets unbalanced, it would cause that. Well, thank you for subscribing to me. I appreciate that very much. And also, I understand it was a sad day, understood. But at the same time, there are ladies that do, and people that think that's a cool look. And there is nothing wrong with going bald. It's fine. My dad is bald, and my grandpa is bald. So, as I said, it's just something that happens. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a cool look. It's a cool look. Oh, you have to go. I have a Temu way of reading words. I just saw the part of that he subscribed to me because I have selective eyesight sometimes. So you have to run. Okay, thank you for being here and subscribing to the channel. Have a amazing good night and a good day tomorrow. All right. There we go. National Day of Declaration. adopted the holiday in 1868. Memorial events were held in 183 cemeteries. Sheree, the greatest mod on the internet, thank you for that. That's very sweet of you to give Michael a nice greeting. Adapted, adopted the holiday in 1868. Memorial events were held in 183 cemeteries in 27 states, and 336 in 1869. One another claims that the date was chosen because it was not the anniversary of the particular battle. Logan's wife noted that the date was chosen because it was optimal date of the flowers to bloom in the north. Let us then gather around their sacred remains and garland the passionless mounds above them with the choosiest flowers of the springtime. Let us raise above them dear old flag they saved from dishonor. Let us, the solemn presence, renew our pledges to aid the assistance that those assist those whom they have left among us of the sacred charge upon a nation's gratitude, the soldiers and sailors, widow and orphan. State holiday. In 1873, New York made the declaration an official state holiday, and by 1890, every northern state had followed suit. There was no standard program for the cemeteries, but they were typically sponsored by Women's Relief Corps. The Women's Auxiliary and the Grand Army of the Republic, GAR, which had 100,000 members. By 1870, the remains of nearly 300,000 Union have been deleted, had reinterred into 73 national cemeteries, located near the major battlefields and thus mainly in the South. The most famous Gettysburg National Cemetery in Pennsylvania and Arlington National Cemetery was near Washington, D.C. Waterloo Proclamation. On May 26, 1866, President Lyndon B. Johnson designated an official birthplace of the holiday by signing the presidential proclamation naming Waterloo, New York, as holder of the title. The action followed House concurrent resolutions of 587, which the 89th Congress had officially recognized that the patriotic tradition of observing Memorial Day had begun 100 years prior to Waterloo, New York. The legitimacy of the claim has been called into question by several scholars. Early national history. In April 1865, following Lincoln's assassination, commemorations were extensive. More than 600,000 soldiers of both sides who fought and were deleted in the Civil War meant that the burial and monetization took on new cultural significance. Under the leadership of women during the war, an increasingly formal practice of decorating graves had taken shape. In 1865, the federal government also began creating the United States National Cemetery System for the Union War of those that are deceased. Oh, hello, Moki, my dear friend. It's great to see you. We're talking about the Memorial Day, and after that I'm going to say something. And then we will continue forward in our stream. We're talking about a variety of different things. New trial tomorrow. I'm delighted, Moki. I'm glad to hear about that. Finally, because we've been in a trial depression. All right. By the 1880s, ceremonies were becoming more consistent across geography, as GAR purported. handbooks that presented specific procedures, poems, and Bible verses for local post commanders to utilize in planning the local events, historian Straut McConnell reports. On the day itself, the post assembled the marched into local cemetery to decorate graves of the fallen, an enterprise meticulously organized months in advance to assure that none were missed. Finally came the simple and subdued graveyard service involving prayers, short patriotic speeches, and music to end the perhaps a rifle salute. Oh, thank you, Moki. Thank you. All right, and then you have the soldiers, and their the orphans are placing flowers in the graves of their fathers. Rest in peace to those people that lost their lives to this great nation. Out of Milwaukee. Okay. Confederate Memorial Day in 1868, some Southern public figures began adding the label Confederate to their commemorations and claimed that the Northerners had appropriated the holiday. The first official celebration of the Confederate Memorial Day as a public holiday occurred in 1874, following the proclamation of the Georgia legislature. By 1916, the 10 states celebrated it. On June 3, the birthday of CSA President Jefferson Davis and other states chose late April dates or May 10, commemorating Davis's capture. Some others did that too. Scared. The Ladies Memorial Association played a key role in using Memorial Day rituals to preserve Confederate culture. Various dates ranging from April 25 to mid-June were Hello, One Ranch 307. Welcome. I hope that you've been having a good time, Billy. I hope you've been doing well with your Memorial Day weekend and everything. I hope everything's been going well with you. The Ladies Memorial Association. The Ladies Memorial Association played a key role in using Memorial Day rituals to preserve Confederate culture. Various dates, ranging from April 25 to mid-June, were adopted in different southern states across Scared. The South. Associations were founded, many by women, to establish the care of the permanent cemeteries for the Confederate deleted. Organize commemorative ceremonies and sponsor appropriated monuments and permanent way of remembering Confederate those that passed away. United Daughters of the Confederacy, which grew through the South, changed the ceremonies, hymns, and speeches to reflect an evolution, ritual symbol of the cultural renewal of the conservatism in the South. By 1913, David Blight argues that the theme of American nationalism shared equal time with the Confederates. And it's very important for this country that these people passed away on and were slain in battle so we could have our freedoms that we so certainly deserve. Renaming. By the 20th century, various Union memorial traditions celebrated on different days. And also, something else that I wanted to mention is that three of the inmates that escaped from the New Orleans prison have been captured. Three have been captured, and there's two more left. By the 20th century, various Union memorial traditions celebrated on different days merged, and Memorial Day eventually extended. To honor all Americans who fought and were deleted while other U.S. military service, Indiana, from the 1960s to 1920s, saw numerous debates on how to expand the celebration. It was a favorite lobbying activity of the Grand Army of the Republic. In 1884, GAR Handbook explained that Memorial Day was the day of days in the GAR calendar. In terms of mobilizing public support for pensions, it advised family members to exercise great care in keeping the veteran sober. I will look into that. Okay, Moki. Well, thank you for having my back. I always appreciate you always chatting with you, sticking up for me, and being here and telling us about trials. So, Moki, I dearly appreciate you very much. See you tomorrow. I will look into that cemetery. Cecil, thank you very much. Oh, Billy. Oh, what happened was I have to do it through the computer. I haven't gone into yeah, Moki. I haven't done it through the app yet. I just haven't been on the app to go and accept it because the the phone's a little bit outdated, so I have to go on the computer and access the site to do it. So it is or the tablet. I go on my tablet and do it. So yeah, it's on my end. I just have to. It's there. Everything's fine. I'll go and accept it. I'll go accept it later. Okay. I just have to do it through a different device. Okay. You did nothing wrong. You're fine. Scared. All right. Here we go. Memorial Day speeches became an occasion for veteran politicians and ministries to commemorate the Civil War at the first rehash of the atrocities of the enemy. They mix religion and celebratory nationalism and celebratory nationalism. Yeah, I won't be scared. I won't be scared. But sometimes it's difficult not to be scared. They mixed religion. Well, one thing I want to say, my phone's outdated from like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, and I got so many stuff on it. I have to update it at some point. But with all the YouTube stuff I was doing, I just never got around to it. But I have other devices that are fine and updated, like the computer and the other devices that I have are fine. They're updated. It's just that I was having Timu concentration. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to One Ranch, which is also Billy. Shout out to him. Bree says, "Oh, alien, you have me saying scared now. My doggy when storm comes." Hey everyone. Oh, I've started a new trend. It seems. Well, yeah, your dogs appreciate it very much. Thank you for being here, and shout out to you and everybody here. I deeply appreciate all of you being here. It really means a lot to me. Memorial Day speeches became an occasion for the veterans, politicians, and ministers to commemorate the Civil War at the first rehash of atrocities of the enemy. The term sacred sacrifice for a better nation. People of religious beliefs joined, including German and Irish soldiers and ethnic minorities who at the time faced discrimination who had become true Americans in the baptism of blood and the battlefield. In the national capital in 1913, the 4-day Blue-Gray reunion featured parades, reenactments, and speeches from host dignitaries, including President Woodrow Wilson, the first Southerner elected to the White House since the war. James Heflin of the Alabama gave the main address. The Heflin was noted. The orator has his choice of Memorial Day speaker was criticized as he was opposed for his support of the segregation. However, his speech was moderate in a tone of stressed national unity and goodwill, winning him praise from the newspapers. The name Memorial Day, which was first used in 1882, gradually became more common than the Decoration Day after World War II, but was not declared the official name of the federal law unit in 1967. On June 28, 1868, Congress passed Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which moved 4 holidays, including Memorial Day and the traditional dates and the specific Monday, in order to create 3-day weekend. The change moved Memorial Day from its traditional May 30 to the last Monday in May. The law took effect to federal level in 1971. Liberty, I am delighted to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Hope that you had a good Memorial Day. In 1913, an Indiana veteran complained that younger people born since the war had a tendency Let's see what Silver said. Something interesting. Not Silver, but Sharon. Pardon me. Sharon said Woodrow Wilson's wife was running the country at the end of his term. He was in a wheelchair and very sick and was kept hush hush. Sounds familiar. Yeah, yeah, like the Potato Man. The oh yeah, definitely. Born since the war, had a tendencies to forget purpose of the Memorial Day and made it a day for games, races, and retrievery instead of the day memorial tears. In 1911, the scheduling of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway car race, later named Indianapolis 500, overwhelmingly opposed by the interesting elderly GAR. The state legislature in 1923 rejected holding the race on holiday, however, and the New American Legion and local officials wanted to race to continue, so the governor, Warren McCary, vetoed a bill and the race went on. There was a time when if a leader was unable to perform the duties of his office, then the wife would run things in the interim. Oh, okay, Dirt of LA, thank you. I wasn't aware of that. I thought it would be the vice president. Thank you, Dirt. I love seeing the chat with all the blue wrenches. It's truly a beautiful sight. A shout out to all of you for being here. I really appreciate everyone. I just hand them out like candy, and I do not regret it, and I'm going to keep doing it. Changing the date merely to create a 3-day weekend has undermined the very meaning of the day. No doubt this has contributed a lot of general public's nonchalant observance of Memorial Day. In 2000, Congress passed the National Movement of Remembrance Act, asking people to stop. I think I have 2 blue so far. Well, you're going to have a third one. You have a third one. National Day of Concert. Let's see. The staff and solemnly lowered. Yes, One Ranch 307. Billy, yes, you can. Post a link. Go for it. Another thing that some haters may not consider is that you cannot post a link if you're not a mod. So it's easier for people to post links in the chat if they're a mod. Because YouTube doesn't let other people post a link. But what do I know? Scholars following the lead of sociologist Robert Bellah often make agreement that the United States has secular civil religion. One with no association with any religious denomination or viewpoint that has incorporated Memorial Day as a sacred event. With the Civil War a new theme of deletion, sacrifice, and rebirth on being unalived, enters the civil religion, Memorial Day gave ritual expression to these themes, integrating the local community into a sense of nationalism. The American civil religion, in contrast, that of France, was never acceleratorial or militantly secular. In contrast to brilliant, it was not tied to any specific denomination, such as the Church of England. The Americans borrowed from different religious traditions so that the average American saw no conflict between the two, and deep level personal motivation were aligned with attending goals. Well, thank you, Durid. Thank you for the information. I'm just learning. I didn't know that. In 1915, following the Second Battle of Ypres, Lieutenant Colonel John McCary, a physician with the Canadian Expeditionary Force, wrote the poem in Flanders Fields. Its opening lines referred to the fields of poppies that grew among the soldiers' graves in Flanders, inspired by the poem of the YMCA worker Monia Michael. Attend the YMCA Overseas War Secretaries Conference 3 years later, wearing silk poppy pinned to her coat, and distributed over 24 more of other present. National American Legion adopted poppy as its official symbols of remembrance of 1920. And other countries celebrate all over the world for their own people. Yes, Sharon, I saw that. That was hilarious. I saw about that. That he got clocked out. Yeah. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Scared. All right. Related traditions. Decoration days in southern Appalachia, and Liberia are a tradition which arose by the I want to say that I saw this meme. I'm about to be a little political here, so those that are not agreeing politically what I'm saying, this is for humor. I don't mind political debates or discussions. Just remember, this was for the meme that was quite funny. So there is this meme of Macron and he was with these. Nothing wrong with being gay. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a picture of him with black men with their shirts off, and then there's like a picture of the orange man with two ladies, and somebody was made some silly meme about that. So, and now he's getting clocked out by his wife. I don't know. This dude's funny. I said there's gay people that are masculine, tough football players, and gay people are welcome to this channel, and I actually have no problem with them at all. Now I have problems if somebody sides with a troll over me. Eugene, that is correct. But I have no problem with the gay people at all. They're welcome here. All people are welcome here, of all faiths. Everybody's welcome here. Arose by the 19th century, decoration practices are localized and unique to individual families, cemeteries. Hello, Anna. Back again, phone zapped off. I'll be back in the town Thursday, and we'll get my new phone hooked up. Oh, I'm glad you're going to get your new phone hooked up, because I know it could be a hassle when it's not working right. So thank you for letting us know what's going on, and time will fly by. It'll all work out. Yeah, Eugene, hilarious. A unique individual for families and communities, but common elements that unify the various decoration and days practice throughout to represent syncretism of predominantly Christian cultures in the 19th century southern Appalachia, with the pre-Christian influences from Scotland, Ireland, and African cultures. Appalachian and Liberian cemetery decoration during the thought to have more in common with one another than the United States Memorial Day traditions, which are focused on honoring the military deleted. Appalachian Liberian cemetery decoration traditions predate the United States Memorial Day holiday. According to the scholars Alan and Karen Jabeur, the graphic spread from the Smokies to northern east of Texas and Liberia offers strong evidence that the Southern Decoration Day originated well back to the 19th century in presence of the same culture tradition throughout the upland South argues for the age of tradition, which was carried westward and eastward to Africa by 19th century migration and survived in essentially the same from till the present. While these customs may have inspired in part rituals to honor military deleted, like Memorial Day, numerous differences exist between the Declaration Day customs and Memorial Day, including the date is set differently by each family and church for each cemetery and coordinate the maintenance on the social and spiritual aspects of the declaration. All right. All right. Now it's time for the interesting part. All right. You know, I'm going to address something. So, basically, there is something in my life that is my pride and joy. Maybe y'all could guess what it is, but I highly doubt it. Miranda would know, but it's baseball. I really admire the sport and the teamwork that the people do. And at Smoking Scan, he always talks about it, and I love watching it. You have one man standing alone at the plate, and for his glory, and all the fans and people are cheering for him. But it's not just him. What is it? What else is there in baseball? There is teamwork, and that is the key of winning. Also, There's the pitch, there's the throw, there's also the catches. Now, there's a say you have another player that might just be out for themselves. And if a player does that, the team doesn't win. So that's why in a team, I think it's good to have healthy communication. And you have, for instance, O Hantai. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. Who was in the Dodgers, a very good baseball team. And a great champion. Also, I have a feeling for LA because of Smoke and Skin and the various people. For the various people that I know from the West Coast, but also the East Coast too. And I have admiration for New York City as well. So if I wore a baseball hat, it would have to be LA and New York. Although, as I'm conflicted by both teams, I love both of them because of the people I knew from both places. From the New York Yankees and from the Dodgers. So it's very important. And I think that communication is healthy. And there is this YouTuber that sometimes comes in here and I've helped out with the channel. And I have noticed, for you all that would know, that there has been some criticisms about me, and I think it's quite funny. I laugh when I see stuff like that, and I'm not bothered by anything like that. Now, I think if people have a problem with me, I do not bite, maybe not too hard, but I appreciate things being said to my face. And my channel is, as I said, I do believe that I made a good community of people. And even if people think I have too many wrenches, I don't care. If people think that I have too much alpha energy, it doesn't matter to me. And I am appreciative of any type of criticism, but so far I've been doing quite well. And I appreciate any kind words that were also said. But I think I want to learn from people that have exceeded farther from me, not people that don't hardly have anybody on their channel. So, and I say that humbly. And I have a lot to learn, and there's many things that I can learn. And also, there was sometimes in debates that I've had with different callers throughout the years and people on streams, if two people can agree on something, that is the best way to go. And I'm glad I taught the person that, and that's good that they do that. And also, the person had low confidence, and I helped them build their confidence up to do it. And as I said, that is all good. But, I don't mind critics, and I don't pay attention to them. And the person has been blocked from here. So, but everybody else is fine to stay, and I appreciate all of you. And we are going to keep on sailing our spaceship further into the skies of the space. And thank you all for being here. And remember, the persons do not have the nuts to ever say anything to my face. So that's okay. And I appreciate that. No problem. And I would like criticism told to me directly so I could know what I'm doing wrong. But I feel that I've done everything correct so far. And that is something I wanted to address. And I want to thank you all for being here and staying with me. I'm not triggered, not angry. I thought it was funny. I laugh. I think it's quite entertaining. Now continuing on to the next thing. Into infinity and beyond. Yes. And also there was a joke about, turning some of that if we have, say, Miranda go against me or something, that I would be, say, sad over that, but I wouldn't. And Miranda and all of you stayed on my side always, and I appreciate all of you for being so. So I think it was quite laughable and quite funny. And I appreciate Miranda and everybody that, zealously defends me against trolls and people, but as I said, it doesn't matter to me what people say. People could come or go, I could just be here by myself, but I enjoy being here with all of you. Thank you, chat, for the very kind words. I appreciate all of you. All right. All right, let's read about this cool baseball player. So, born July is Ohatani is a Japanese professional baseball designated hitter and pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers of the Major League Baseball, MLB. Nickname Showtime. He has previously played in the MLB for the Los Angeles and the Nippon Professional Baseball, NPB, for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Because of his elite contributions to the hitters. Does anyone want to drive to California to see giant trees? Yes, Liberty, I certainly would. I certainly would. Absolutely. Thank you for, yes, everybody hit the like button. I really appreciate everybody. And nickname Showtime. He has previously played in the MLB in Los Angeles and Nippon Professional Baseball for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters because of his elite contributions as the hitter, as the pitcher, of the rarity, as a two-third party on Hanti's prime seasons, have been considered among the greatest of the ball history, with some comparing them favorably to earlier careers of Ruth. And Eugene said, I let people handle their business. I have nothing against you, alien, and just avoid people I find problematic. Eugene, I have no problem with you. I think you are a good ally of mine. And that is fine, Eugene, whatever floats your boat, my friend. I said, I'm not mad or triggered at anybody. I don't care. I'm not triggered by anybody. No. I'm just trying to create content and do my own thing. We can split drive time and cost depending on how many go. Yes, Liberty, we will figure it out and we'll do it however we need to get it done. For the Hokkaido Nippon Fighters, because of his elite contributions as a hitter and as a pitcher of the rarity as a two-way player, Onhanti's prime seasons have been considered among the greatest baseball history, with some comparing them favorably to earlier career of Babe Ruth. Considered early on as an elite two-way player, Ohanti was the first pick of the Fighters in the 2012 NPB draft. He played the Fighters from 2013 to 2017 as a pitcher and off outfielder and won in the 2016 series with them. The Fighters posted Ohantai in MLB after the 2017 season, and he signed with the Angels, soon winning the 2018 American League Rookie of the Year award. Following in the injury plagued in 2019 and 2020, Ohantai, I'm saying it wrong, Ohatani, I said it wrong, I'm thinking about my own name. All right. Hit a 46 home runs and struck out 156 balters en route, winning his first AL Most Valuable Player award and MVP in 2021. Statistically unprecedented two-way season that show bestowed with the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award in 2022. He became the first player in the modern era to qualify for both hitting and pitching leaderboards in the season, finishing third in AL and with a 219 strikeouts. Ohanai won his second AL MVP in 2023, leading the AL with 44 home runs while recording 2 wins as the pitcher. He was the first player to win multiple anomalous. Oh, you're a Nationals fan. Okay. I don't know much about the Nationals, but understood. Yeah. As a pitcher, he was first player to win multiple anomalous MVPs and the first Japanese-born player to win the League of Home Run title. After the 2023 season, Ohantai signed a 10-year, $700 million contract with the Dodgers, then largest contract professional sports history. Unable to pitch in the 2024 while recovering from the second elbow injury, Ohantai played as DH for the Dodgers. He became the first player in MLB history recorded 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in season and was unanimously named the 2024 National League MVP. He won the 2024 World Series in his first MLB postseason appearance. Okay, Billy, thank you. All right, let's go and do this. Arlington, I have to do some. Okay, let's just save this link, copy, and just put that there and save it for later. And here we go. Internationally, Otani represents Japan in the 2023 baseball. He won the MVP award for a tournament following Japan's victory over the United States in 2023 final. He was one of the most watched baseball games in history, culminating with the Ohanti striking out the Angels team and the USA captain Mike Trout on full count, securing a 3-2 win in Japan's third title. Yeah, he got good. We're going to read about his early life, and we're going to learn about more about him in this little article. Right. And I said I will do some Diddy updates also after this. Ohanti was born in Kyoko and Toru Ohantai in Usawa, part of Ushu, Iwate, Japan, on July 5, 1994. His mother, Kyoko, was a national level badminton player in high school, and his father, Toru, worked at the local automobile manufacturing plant and was the amateur baseball player who played the Japanese Industrial League. I was making a reference to baseball earlier, Liberty, and teamwork, so I wanted to read about one of my favorite baseball players. That's because before you got here, I was saying about, baseball, there's one man that stands at the plate. And the other people on the field who pitch, throw, and catch are all part of the teamwork. So that's what we are talking about. Ohantai is the youngest of three children. He has one older sister, Yuka, and one older brother, Ryuta, who is also an amateur baseball player in Japanese Industrial League in Japan. Ohanti was known as a Yakyu Shonin, baseball boy, a kid who lives and eats and breathes baseball. Coached by his father, he displayed an aptitude for the game at an early age. He began playing baseball in the second year of elementary school, and as the seventh grader, Ohantai recorded all but one out of 18 outs in 6-inning regional championship game. Exactly, Liberty. And this is from his amateur career. As a teenager, Otani could have played baseball for the powerhouse high school team in big cities such as Osaka or Yokohama. Instead, he opted to stay local, selecting Hanamaki Higishi High School in Iwate Prefecture, northern Japan. The same high school is picture Yusai Kikuchi, whom he admired. Otani competed as a swimmer and played baseball. Otani's high school baseball coach, Hor Ish Hiroshi Sasaki, said that he was the fast swimmer who could have competed in the Olympics. All right, Billy. See you later, buddy. Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right. Peace out, Billy. And I live in DFW to okay, south of Dallas, Orchard. Okay, pretty cool. Under Sasaki's guidance, Hanamaki Higashi's player lived on campus, returning home for only 6 days a year. Sasaki would assign toilet cleaning chores to Otani to teach him humility. In 2012, Otani threw a 99 miles per hour fastball as an 18-year-old high school pitcher, which at the time had set a Japanese high school baseball record until it was surpassed by Rokai Sasaki's 101 mph fastball in 2018. Otani threw the pitch in Japanese National High School Baseball Championship tournament, commonly called Summer Koshin. In 2012, the 18U Baseball World Championship, Otani had a 0-1 win-lose record with 16 strikeouts, 8 walks, and 5 hits, 5 runs, and 4.35 earned run average innings pitched. Well, that's nice, Liberty. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Professional career. Otani expressed a desire to move directly to the major leagues after high school and received interest from numerous teams, including the Texas Ranger, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, and Los Angeles Dodgers. On October 21, 2012, he announced that he would pursue a career in the Major League Baseball (MLB) rather than turn professional in Japan. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters decided to draft him in 2012 NPB draft. Nevertheless, despite knowing that there was a high likelihood he would not play for them, after an exclusive negotiating window between him and Fighters, Otani announced that he would sign with the Fighters and spend some years in Japan before a possible MLB move. Hokkaido said it would allow Ohanti to serve as a pitcher and position player. The Los Angeles Dodgers, who had become Otani's top choice MLB team, were not prepared to let him play both ways. He was assigned to the jersey number 11, previously worn by Yu Dravish. Cowgirls. Oh well. Read about his rookie season, then we'll get to the Diddy information. Football is barbaric. That's true. Rookie season. Otani made his debut at age 18 in fighter season opening game on March 29, 2023. No, okay. Otani made his debut age in the fighters season opening game on March 29, 2013. Playing as the right fielder, he was selected for a Pacific League rooster spot for the 2013 All-Star game. As pitcher, he finished the season with 3-0 record in 11 starts as rookie. Otani was used in both the outfield, leading the fighters with 51 games in the right, and a pitcher. He was the second Nippon Pro Baseball NPB rookie drafted out of high school the previous year to be used as both a pitcher and position player. Following Kikuo Tokuanga in 1951, Otani was the first to start both roles. He was the first NPB pitcher since Takaho Kijamoto in 1963 to bat third, fourth, and fifth, and the first rookie hurler to since Yunzo Sekine in 1950. He was the second player following Osamu Takeshi, also 1950, to start game as a pitcher. Bat to the heart of the order, third through the fifth, and get a hit and a run batted in RBI in the game. He missed time during the year with the right ankle sprain and the right cheekbone fracture. For the season, he was 3-0 with 4.23 ERA, 33 walks, and 46 strikeouts in 61 2-3 innings, and hit the .238, the .248. I got dyslexic for a second. 284 and 3.76 and 204 plate appearances. He had 7 outfitted assists and 1 error. His hit batsman tied Manabu Mima, Tadashi and Setsu Hideki Wakyui, and Waima Nogami for the 5th and Pacific League. Otani received 4 to 233 votes. Nippon Professional Baseball Rookie of the Year Award, Pacific League, trying to Tatsuya Sato for the distant second, behind Takahiro Norimato during his 5-year tenure with the Fighters of Otani. Good night, Breeze. Hello, Jamie. It is great to see you here. I hope that you've been doing well. And Liberty, my apologies if I missed something you said. Alien, I was going to send Damon a baseball cards, but I didn't have his email address, and he didn't answer his email. But I don't have his address, and he didn't answer email. Okay, so she says, I was going to send Damon baseball cards, but I don't have his address, didn't answer email. Okay, Liberty, I will, when you're in the chat at some point, I'll see what I could do to get you the information, all right? Now, wait a minute. Going to send him baseball cards, yeah. Okay, well, I'll go see what I could do about that. All right. Yeah, good night, Breeze. You're most welcome. Add a gift link. Okay. I don't quite understand. A gift link for... can you explain a little bit more detail about a gift link? Thank you, Jamie. Okay. Opted to live in a team's provided demonstratories. His parents oversaw his finances. Second season, NPB. All-star selection. Throughout the entire season, Otani performed double duty as Okay. An email. Okay. I have my email. I'll put my email in there. Okay, let's get the email. Let's see. Wrong one. I could do, it's. Okay, so what is not working? Let me. So what exactly isn't working? Let me know, chat. I'll see what I can do. Are y'all talking about the? Wait a minute. Okay, I'll put my email for y'all. The email is in the description of my channel, but I'll put the email in here for y'all to see. So explain to me what. Yeah, sure, Liberty. Sure. Go follow Liberty. She has a good channel. All right, let's get the email out. Well, I have to change the thumbnail of this stream because it looks like it's being goofy again. It's not a bad thumbnail, but it's not showing what I want to show. All right, so let's put the email in there. Now, are y'all talking about the memberships or the super chats? Is that what y'all are talking about or not? I gotta. Is it something else? I'm trying to understand what's going on. Okay, I'm changing the thumbnail. Alien live. Someone says sorry about something. Oh, okay. Now, are you talking about? Okay, so a link tree. There's something called a link tree where you could have a bunch of. You have like a. I have not created a link tree yet. So basically, it's like a couple of like you'd have a PayPal or a Cash App. Yeah, that stuff. I do have PayPal and Cash App, but I have not what you would call set up a link tree yet. Now the hello Shell, good to see you. Now the memberships, if you're talking about memberships, I haven't set up the membership thing up yet, but it's gonna come if that's what was being mentioned. Also, another thing is that the if people are talking about the super chats or super stickers, it has worked. It has worked, but you know, oh there you go. But here is the link This is my email. Okay, Jamie. Okay, Jamie. All right, thank you, Matt, for your super chat. Okay, so basically, what I want to. Okay, so this is the Cash App. For those that were interested, uh, this is the email. Oh, yes, I do have a merch store too. Yes, I do have a merch store, by the way. Yes. I'll link that too. Why not? Okay, so Dirt of LA says, "Oh, a PO box." Okay, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. I understand now. I will set up a PO box and I'll let you know what it is. I'll let everybody know what it is later. Oh, I have to set it up first. I've not set up a PO box yet, but I will set it up. Okay. All right. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So we're going to. Okay. So I get what she means now. So I'll put the merch thing right now. All right. Let's go. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Okay. I'm glad that the stream's doing fine, but this other thing is trying to be Timu. All right, dashboard. Is it going to work? Oh, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. uh, well, okay. Does Google work? Okay, fourth wall. Liberty, I would love to do that. For real, I would. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Oh, that's okay, Jamie. It's all good. This is when I say scared, the ladies do a shot usually. Okay, well, I think I have it bookmarked over here. So, yeah, possum food. All right, so we're gonna have to go here. It's gonna take me a moment. Yeah, that is true. All right, so we're gonna go and cruise right along to the. Um, where is she at? There she is. All right. Let's airdrop to the Mac. Okay, as a shout to everybody. Shout to everybody. Area 52. Yeah. Okay. Let's go here. Quite understand. There, it's working. Alrighty. So this is, I don't know if their site is down or something. No, it's not down. It's working. Okay. Let's go here to the site. Alright, let's copy this. And I'm going to go put it in the chat for y'all. Because the computer needed comfort. Alright, and I wasn't, it was getting no comfort, so it wasn't cooperating. And we got this. Okay. All right, everybody, thank you for the patience. Okay, so anyway. So, where were we at? We were over here. And we'll read a little bit more about this this dude and go to Diddy. Area 57 is where they keep all the ketchup. You haven't seen your friendly neighborhood possum lately. Dirt of LA. Can anyone explain why my cats are and family all get MF readings, but I don't? I do not know. I do not know about that. I don't know. Maybe it's a negative. Low electromagnetic field. Maybe that's what it means. Yeah, so it's a lower energy. Allegedly. Alright, so I'll talk about this one paragraph, and then I'm going to go into Diddy information. Alright. Oh, thank you, Jamie. I'm glad that you think that's a cool hoodie. Alright, Matt. Understood. Understood, Matt. Throughout the entire season, Ohtani performed double duty as a pitcher and outfielder, utilizing his strong throwing arm, as well as his impressive batting skills. As a hitter, he battled a 274 with a 28 extra base hits, including 10 home runs, 31 RBIs, and a 1.80 okay, .842 on base plus slugging percentage in 234 plate appearances. As a pitcher, he was 11-4, which is a 2.61 era, and the 24 starts and struck out 179 third to the NPB in 155 1-3 innings. His 10.4 strikeouts per 9 innings led to league in opponents hit just .223 against him. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alien, it's weird because if I make physical contact with them, their readings go to 0. That's very interesting. You have either a negative or a lower level of it, so that's very fascinating. And I don't know enough about it to know exactly what it means, but yeah, it's something very intriguing. And it does mean something. Oh my goodness. Liberty says, I just was on Next and somebody posted a female gorilla attracting a male by twerking, people copying gorillas. Ah, okay. I get you mean. Scared. Lord. In a September 7 game against Oryx Buffaloes, he horned a straightway center at Kyocera Dome to become the first Japanese player to reach double digits in both home runs and wins. He tossed 1-0 shutout against Oryx on September 13 and became the first pitcher out of the high school to record a 1-0 shutout victory within his first 2 years of the Fighters since Toshaiki Morai Asu in 1967. Oh, my grandpa uses something like that. He also became the first pitcher out of high school to notice 2 shutout victories within his first 2 years in NPB since U Dervish. Alrighty. So now it's time for Diddy. Be prepared for cringe. Shout out to the Spaceship Cats. A shout out to the Spaceship Cats. Ah, yes, yes. I saw it was explosive. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. And here. Okay. And then we're gonna get the other thing and put it here. Okay. Ah, come on. Hola Latina. I am delighted to see you here. Yeah, Liberty, that's a good question. Good night, my friend Cecil, and stay safe. And yeah, so yeah, Diddy. I was at some other YouTuber earlier, a a friend. It's another YouTube friend of mine, and she was talking about the eyes, how you could tell different eyes, and yeah, Diddy just always had these creepy, um, like angry and like serial deleter type vibes to him. Like he's like abusive, and he has like a soulless dead stare. So he was the spawn of a Timu seed, and he evolved more and more into a soulless monster. Well, we can try to see what his childhood was like, but remember this, Liberty: power attracts the worst, and it corrupts the best. And he may have had some compulsions, and I think he just couldn't control his anger or whatever was wrong with him. So, and all that combined, and he could just get away with anything he wants. It's just people have a free will, and they make bad choices. Timu seed. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's see. So, Diddy. You see how his eyes look dead? And he has like a blank stare to him? There's something not right about him. Liberty, I agree. That makes sense. He just has like a soulless look on his face. He has Timu soul. Yeah, I believe he's possessed by parasites. Yeah, scared. Jamie said Diddy has been dressing like Mr. Rogers his whole time. Hilarious. He needs to fast. Yeah, amen. May 27, 2025, day 10 of the testimony. All right. Combs used Clark's phone to call Ventura before chasing Kid Cudi, ex-employee says. Ah, I get it, Jamie. I get it. Sean Diddy Combs would periodically come outside the house, but his security guard stayed inside, according to the Capricorn Clark Combs' former employee. Clark testified that on one occasion, Combs checked her phone and then called Casey Ventura from it, asking whose phone number it was. The call was cut off when they heard Kid Cudi's car approaching. When Kid Cudi sped off, Combs and a security guard jumped into a car and chased him, she said. Clark says she spoke to someone else besides Ventura outside Kid Cudi's home, continuing to testify. Shout out to Cherry. Yeah. And continuing to testify about the night she called Casey Ventura from outside Kid Cudi's house in 2011. Capricorn Clark said she called Lauren London for about 30 seconds for her own protection before she called Ventura. Clark was outside the house, while Sean Diddy Combs and his security guards were inside. She had testified she was like my sister. At the time, I just wanted somebody to know where I was, Clark said, choking up. He was in the house, and if he got deleted, I just needed somebody to know where I was in case this all went really bad, end quote. All right, Liberty understood. It's a slippery day in the neighborhood. And Jamie said Clark said Diddy paid for their phones so he could check them. Creepy F. The Fuke. Yep, a creepy fook. She was like my sister at the time, and I just wanted somebody to know where I was. And Clark said, choking up, he was in the house, and if he did get deleted, I just needed somebody to know where I was in case this all went really bad. After thinking about it on the stand, Clark said it's possible she had London on three-way call with Ventura. She testified she can't remember whether she called London separately from Ventura or spoke to them once on a conference call. Clark warned Ventura and Kid Cudi that Combs had a pew pew and intended harm during 2011 incident. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio challenged Capricorn Clark Sean Diddy Combs' former employee repeatedly as whether she told Casey Ventura and Kid Cudi that Combs had a pew pew when she called from outside Cudi's house, and Clark insisted she told them about the pew pew at the time, speaking very quickly so Combs wouldn't see her on the phone. I said, Puff came to my house with a pew pew and came to Cootie's house to delete him. And then I heard there in my house. She testified Ventura had the call. I'm thinking of something else that's making me laugh. Peace and love over time. You came just in time for Diddy. Scared. I said Puff came to my house with a pew pew. We came to Cootie's house to delete him. And then I heard there in my house. She testified Ventura had to call on speaker with Kid Cudi so could hear him and yell that. Clark testifies she's unsure how Combs and security entered Kid Cudi's property. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio questioned Capricorn Clark Sean Diddy Combs' former employee on how Combs and his security guard got through the gate and surrounding Kid Cudi's property. I don't blame you. Yeah, shout out to you, but yeah, I don't blame you. All right, Eugene says, are people surprised that money and power are a horrible thing? Bible warns about it. And other faiths warn about it. Yeah, exactly, Eugene. Amen. Overtime. We have not done the panel this time. We will do that next time. I'll see about next time doing it. I had to see how this stream would work with the internet, and I had the internet repaired so it would not, before I get the new one, which will be even better. That's why we're doing good right now, because we fixed something. But overtime, we will do it, God willing, on the next one. The next evening, say tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do it, buddy, and I will, we'll have you on the show. All right, buddy? Okay. All right. Clark testifies that she's unsure how Combs and security entered Kid Cudi's property. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio questioned Capricorn Clark Sean Diddy Combs' former employee on how Combs and his security guard got through the gate surrounding Kid Cudi's property. Clark testified that she wasn't sure because their backs were to her and she wasn't playing. She could also attain to what they were doing. I was praying that Cudi wasn't inside there, she said. Bina, hello there, Bina. I am so glad to see you here with us. Shout out to you, Bina. Beans. It's always nice to see you. Magic Beans. All right. Clark disputes defense claims and she voluntarily accompanied Combs in 2011. And shout out to overtime too. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio Agnifilio suggested Capricorn Clark Sean Diddy Combs, former employee, voluntarily went with Combs to Kid Cudi's house in December 2011. Yes, Bina. Yes, Bina. Some people have real jobs. Yes, yes. So you're a hard worker, and shout out to you for working hard, and glad that you are here with us now. Agnifilio, thank you, Overtime. Appreciate that. Agnifilio suggested that Clark told him and attorney Tenny Gregorios this at the meeting with attorneys in April 2024. On the stand Tuesday, Clark maintained that she did not want to go with Combs. I went because he told me that he didn't care, that I didn't want to go. Agnifilio asked if it was possible that Combs would do something stupid because he's a jealous guy. I won't use the word jealous, Clark said. He has a very bad temper. Clark denies telling Homeland Security agent that the guard was with Combs during the alleged 2011 kidnapping. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio suggested that Capricorn Clark Sean Diddy, Combs' former employee, told an agent from Homeland Security investigations that Combs came to her door with building security guard, and morning she says he kidnapped her to go to Kid Cudi's home in 2011. On the stand, Clark repeatedly, if Capricorn was a Cancer, that would be ironic. Absolutely, it would be, Matt. Absolutely. On the stand, Clark repeatedly denied saying that and maintained that a security guard was not with Combs, and Clark testified that Combs demanded security guard let him into the building that morning, and the guard was fired soon after. Yeah, Diddy a goofy. That's true. Diddy whack as hell. Scared. Clark learned of Ventura and Kid Cudi's relationship in late 2011, she says. Capricorn Clark, Sean Diddy Combs, former employee, testified that she first learned of Casey Ventura and rapper Kid Cudi were getting to know each other around Thanksgiving in 2011. Yeah, Diddy Dum Dum wants some Timu Gum Gum. She said Kid Cudi came to her apartment to hang out once, sometimes after Thanksgiving. Clark said that about a week before the alleged kidnapping, she picked Ventura up from Kid Cudi's home after, and she spent the night there. Clark said she understood at the time that Ventura was in a relationship with Combs. Clark says Ventura wasn't forced to dye her hair. Capricorn Clark worked for Sean Diddy Combs again as a creative director for Casey Ventura in 2016. Clark helped create a new look for Ventura to show off at the MTV Video Music Awards that year that required Ventura to dye her hair a neon yellow. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio asked Clark to confirm Ventura was on board with the look and had the say in the decision. Clark testified that she presented the idea to Ventura, who liked it before telling Combs about it. Diddy owe everyone dough, but people was scared of him though. Diddy looks like a twisted version of Elmo. He is kind of stupid, evil. He's not intelligent. He's kind of slow. I think I'm going to be boycotting his next show. Oh, wait a minute. He's locked up in jail. He will not get any bail, but he just has to sleep with the roaches and snails. Bars. Scared. Ventura continued receiving support from Combs even as focus shifted to new artists. Ex-employee says new artists like Machine Gun Kelly and French Montana were getting a lot of attention at Bad Boy around 2012, but Capricorn Sean Diddy Combs, former employee, said Casey Ventura seemed to be getting the same amount of attention. Clark said that even though Combs took the step back around 2016, she believed Ventura had the same support. It's interesting. Combs gave Ventura more resources than other Bad Boy artists, ex-employee says. Scared. Sean Diddy Combs made sure Casey Ventura had access to top-tier industry and professionals that create stars, including procedures, choreographers, and stylists. His former employee, Capricorn Clark, testified under the cross-examination Ventura had more attention and resources than other artists signed with Bad Boy, especially at the beginning of her career between 2007 and 2012. Clark testified from the block, and Clark referred to the time prior to 2007 to 2010. And also Clark testified that it changed over time, that she got a little bit more bravado being his girlfriend and longer lasted, she said. She went from being more of a sweet model to a feisty girlfriend, he claims. All right. I'm going to read this one more thing, then we'll be done. Yeah. Scared. An afternoon recap from day 10 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal criminal trial. The jury in Sean Diddy Combs' racketeering and sex trafficking trial heard testimony from only one witness today, Capricorn Clark, a former employee of Combs. I'm seeing an ad for Pee Wee Herman. Look at this.
It's a documentary.
That's
probably why you're saying that.
Look at this.
It's serious. It's a documentary about his life.
All right, yeah.
It just came out.
Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid growing up. I remember the T-Rex thing, the neon T-Rex thing. Yeah, that was an interesting show.
I remember seeing the Pee Wee Herman movies.
Yeah. All right, so let's go here. I could show you all this front page. Connections and working great, by the way. Yeah. You see, we hooked it up to the modem itself, and then with the booster, connected into a better.
It's horrible downstairs. It doesn't work.
Oh, okay. But there's gonna be a new one coming in tomorrow. But yeah, we're able to. That's why we're still here. We're not buffering like buffer. Relationship with Ventura changed. Clark testified that she and Casey Ventura started to develop some issues around 2008, saying she got a little bit more bravado, and as being the girlfriend, the longer it lasted, and Ventura, went from being more of a sweet model to a feisty girlfriend. Clark Ventura live performances weren't great, though she thought that she had talent. When Clark returned to work for Ventura in 2016, she said Ventura's drug use was preventing her from opportunities that were before us. Access to industry professionals. Ventura had access to top tier industry professionals that create stars, including producers, choreographers, and stylists. Clark testified under cross examination, adding the Ventura had been more attention and resources than other artists signed with Bad Boy, especially at the beginning of her career between 2007 and 2012. New artists like Machine Gun Kelly and French Montana were getting a lot of attention at Bad Boy around the amount of attention and time. Even when Combs took a step back around 2016, 2017, she believed Ventura still had the same support. Hair dye. While working as Ventura's creative director in 2016, Clark helped create a new look for her to show off the MTV Video Music Awards that year, and it required Ventura to. I love that green light over there, by the way.
Oh yeah, me too.
While working Ventura director in 2016, Clark helped create a new look for her to show off the MTV Video Music Awards that year and required Ventura to dye her hair neon yellow. She said Clark testified that Ventura liked the idea and confirmed she wasn't forced against her will to dye her hair. Pleading for forgiveness. Clark broke down to sobs as she looked at emails she sent to Combs in 2014 to 15, asking him to forgive her.
Oh.
Scared. Earlier in the day, she testified that while she was officially fired in 2012 over a vacation she took, she believed Combs actually fired her because he was upset about her knowledge of Ventura's relationship with Kid Cudi. She said she felt like she was a protector for Combs, and he didn't have anyone looking out for him without her on staff. Unable to find work under redirect examination, Clark said that the settlement she reached with Combs after her testimony in 2012 required mutual non-disparagement, and Combs would sign a letter of recommendation for Clark, but he never did. Clark testified that she couldn't get a job in the industry after that. The judge struck the testimony from the record. After sustaining a defense objection, Clark said she continued to look for work through 2015 but wasn't able to find anything in the industry. I sound like a robot, but it's all good. And was blacklisted, to which the judge sustained a defense objection to her response. Unable to find steady work in entertainment industry, Clark started consulting, as she testified, saying, I'm thinking of something else, that's why I'm laughing. At the level of business, he holds all the power as related to me. Look, and alright. And the prosecutors plan to call 4 more witnesses tomorrow. Prosecutors said they plan to call 4 more witnesses tomorrow as Los Angeles Police Department officer, Los Angeles Fire Department investigator denote that Nash and woman called Mia, who is one of Sean Diddy Combs' former assistants and alleged victims. Alright. Prosecutor Maureen Comey said she believes the team will get to 4 witnesses tomorrow. And also the New Orleans inmates, 3 have been caught, and 2 remain. All right. So hmm, that is strange. I the connection actually went out, and it's not recording that it went out. Okay. All right. Let's try to open a window and let's close this and let's stop here. All right. I don't know what happened. It, I should be back now. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Everything looks like it's working well, but I don't know. As I said. Okay. Okay. We're in the clear. I'm gonna pop out chat. Okay. So I don't know. There's some glitch that happened. It wasn't the internet. It was something else. It was a glitch. It said not the internet. The internet's been working. The internet's working fine. I can see it right there. All right. Thank you, chat. All right. So we're gonna have to read that all over again. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'll go back to the phone and if it goes out because as I said, it's saying okay. Anyway, let's continue. So thanks for handling the troll overtime. Thank you, dude. All right. So we on the ship, Captain. Turbulence, but we're good. Yes. Aye. Oh, here we go. Okay. An afternoon recap from day 10 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal criminal trial. Relationship with Ventura changed. Combs heard a testimony. Okay. Relationship with Ventura changed. Clark testified that she and Casey Ventura started to develop some issues around 2008. And I said that's Pee Wee Herman. They have an ad for that. That's kind of I watched that when I was little.
Documentary about his life.
A documentary about his life. Thank you.
That he was a part of.
All right, thanks. Relationship with Ventura changed. Clark testified that she and Casey Ventura started to develop some issues around 2008, saying she got a little bit more bravado as being his girlfriend, and the longer it lasted, she and Ventura went from being more of a sweet model, feisty feisty girlfriend, and Clark said Ventura's life performances were weren't great, though she thought that she had talent. When Clark returned to work for Ventura in 2016, she said Ventura's drug use was preventing her from opportunities that were before us. Liberty was not a Pee Wee fan. Didn't COVID take Pee Wee? I don't. I'm not really.
Cancer.
He had cancer.
He did contact. Nobody really knew.
At the time, no one really knew what happened. So yeah, I like Pee Wee.
Yeah, that's real great.
He was good in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah. Yeah, Liberty. Yeah, allegedly he did something.
No, it explains in the documentary. It's not. It's not.
So so he was accused of something, but apparently he didn't do what people thought he did. Something like that.
It's more to the story.
There's more to the story. I don't really know, but there's more to this, more to it than what you think.
He even recorded something like the day before he died. It's just the audio. He was real weak, and they added it to the documentary. So it was
All
like,
right.
it's supposed to be really good.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
He talks about all that. I didn't see it. I read about it.
Hair dye while working in Ventura's creative director in 2016. Clark helped create a new look for her to show off the MTV Video Music Awards that year, and it required Ventura to dye her hair neon yellow, she said, and testified that Ventura liked the idea and confirmed she wasn't forced against her will to dye her hair. Pleading for forgiveness. Clark broke into sobs as she looked at the email she sent Combs in 2014 and 2015 asking him to forgive her. Earlier in the day, she testified that while she was officially fired in 2012 over a vacation, she believed Combs actually fired her because he was upset about her knowledge of Ventura's relationship with Kid Cudi. She said she felt like she was a protector for Combs and she didn't have anyone looking out for him without her staff. Hilarious chat. Scared. Unable to find work. Under redirect examination, Clark said that the settlement she reached with Combs after her termination in 2012 required mutual non-disparagement, and Combs would sign a letter of recommendation for Clark, but never did. Clark testified that she couldn't get a job in the industry after that. The judge struck the testimony from the record after sustaining a defense objection. Clark said she continued to look for work, though 2015, but wasn't able to find anything in the industry and was blacklisted, to which the judge sustained a defense objection to her response, unable to find steady work in the entertainment industry. Clark started consulting. She testified saying, at the level of business, she holds the power to relate to me. Hilarious, Eugene. Prosecutors plan to call 4 more witnesses tomorrow. Prosecutors said they plan to call 4 more witnesses tomorrow. A Los Angeles Police Department officer, a Los Angeles Fire Department investigator, Dino Nash, and woman called Mia, who is one of Sean Diddy Combs' former assistants and alleged victims. Prosecutor Maureen Comey said she believes the team will get all 4 witnesses tomorrow. I still think Clark is credible. She just has too many to lose from testifying. She'll have a target on her back. Yeah, that is true. And it's good that she's brave enough to stand for that. You know that you believe in a cause so much you're willing to be deleted for it. I think it's very important. Combs' defense team again raises concern about call restrictions at his prison. Sean Diddy Combs' defense team is again raising concerns that call restrictions at his prison didn't allow them enough time to speak with Combs once he returns after the trial ends for the day. Judge Arun Subramine said she thinks there's been disconnect between the defense and prison officials and that he would try to help them find solutions. Let's see if they found out what's under the museum. Let's see. Scared. Maybe there's like it's a joke. Maybe there's some gold and stuff down there.
Where?
The Gettysburg Museum is controversial, and she said, "What's under there?" And maybe they're hiding stuff there. There's all kinds of tunnels and stuff. I love tunnels too. This would be a good video. Thanks, Liberty. Portals, that's possible. It could be used for ritualistic things. It could be something ancient, like an ancient area where the supernatural entities pass through. That's possible. Getty is involved with the J. Paul Getty. Let's see, Gettysburg. And also maybe they're doing some shady stuff. Yeah, it's possible. Liberty. Portals and all kinds of different things. Yeah. Proper title to some artwork in its collection. So some artwork in the collection doesn't have proper titles. So, yeah, let's see. Getty Museum. Let's say.
The Getty Museum is not Gettysburg. Getty Museum is.
I know. I was being Timu for a second. Liberty told me right, and I got the right answer. And Google told me the right thing. But I just have a mind. I have an interesting brain. Yeah. All right, there you go. There's some Timu tunnels. That is not the same tunnel that she's thinking of, though. Alright. Getty Secret Tunnel. Okay, there you go. There's a Timu tunnel right there. Yeah, who knows what's down there? Outer Range Tunnel. I'm coming soon, Pootsie. I'm coming in a moment. Scared. Eugene, they have those tunnels because maybe they're part mole and they like to be underground. They're a bunch of Timu moles. Outer Range Hole. Okay. Nice. Thanks, chat. And Royal Abbott is a Wyoming rancher who is fighting for his land and family. He discovers a mysterious black void in the pasture after the arrival of a female drifter, Autumn, who has a connection to Abbott's ranch. While the Abbott family copes with disappearance of their daughter-in-law, Rebecca, they are pushed further into the brink when a rival family, Tillersons, try to take over their land. Timu reptilians. Scared. Alright. And also, lizard people can't survive in tunnels, can they? They can. Oh no, they can survive in the tunnels, but it's only the Timu geckos that can do that because the edgy Timu lizards of Frogville have to have the green radiation on them, so they have to be in the sun. And either way, it gets very slimy down there. It gets very slimy. And Night Sky only had one season, then got canceled. Well, maybe that they're trying to hide something. Night Sky, right? Night Sky. Yes. Night Sky, and maybe they're trying to hide something. Premise: an elderly couple living in the Midwest discovers under their land lies a device that can teleport them to a chamber that looks into the barren landscape and star-filled sky, another world. Yeah, edgy Timu lizards. Edgy Timu lizards. Alright, so something else is that you you have the edge lords, the Timu edge lords, and they go into the tunnels. Yes, that's true, Jamie. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh. Scared. Yes. Hilarious, Jamie. Hilarious. All right. So there's a big tunnel network down here. Lord. All right. So we did our Diddy update, and let's see what we have here. We have 17. We have 93. That's pretty good. All right. Okay. So I guess I'm going to mention something for a moment, and then we're going to go into the ending part. Okay. I'm going to read about this cryptid real quick that we're going to talk about more on another time. But okay. The skunk ape is a large and hairy human, like a mythical creature, purported to inhabit the forests and swamps in the southern United States, most notably Florida. It is often compared to synonymous with, or what's called a cousin or Bigfoot of a prominent subject with the North American popular culture. There was a woman I worked with at Pizza Hut who liked to rub anchovy oil on her skin. Scared. Many dubious articles have been presented in an attempt to prove the skunk ape's existence, including anecdotal sightings and disputed photographs and audio and video recording and cast of large footprints. The majority of mainstream scientists have historically discounted the existence of the skunk ape and considered it to be a result of a combination of folklore, misled, and a hoax. The dude was telling me last night that the skunk ape, that it has red glowing eyes and it really smells. It's because it smells like horrible, and that the smell really is the thing that's deadly about it. Bigfoot is up north, and the skunk ape is something in Florida, allegedly. A Timu skunk ape. All right. The skunk ape is commonly described as a bipedal human or ape-like creature, approximately 1.5 to 2.1 meters, 5 to 7 feet tall, covered in molten reddish-brown hair. The skunk ape is often reported to be smaller in stature compared to traditional descriptions. Describe Bigfoot in the northern United States and Canada. It is a name of a foul odor, often described as being similar to a skunk. All right, let's see what causes. All right, um, let's see. Let's see if we could find about why the skunk ape does that. Why skunk ape stinks? Timu stank. We got the answer. The skunk ape gets its name from association with a foul odor from the strong, unpleasant stench reported by those who claim to have seen it. This odor is described as a similar to rotting eggs, methane gas, decaying meat, or rotting food. Some speculate that this odor may be due to creatures' habitat, possibly hiding in areas with swamp gases, rotting animal matter. All right, so think about a dragon that's in a cave in like England somewhere, or in more specifically, you could say in Denmark or somewhere in Scandinavia, and it's a cave that's dark, and it has fumes from the volcano, and he's chilling there. Even if there's not a volcano, the cave will have a smell to it, and also there's deceased things that it ate. So similar to like its habitat and where it smelled, and with the rotting animal matter. Eugene, I think that it is a lot of prehistoric creatures that haven't been discovered. Yeah, I agree. Jamie said, I grew up on the West Coast. Adults used to tell us to be inside when the street lights went out or Bigfoot would get us. Scared. You know what? Yeah, and I believe that it's possible. I believe it's real. Or there's something that we're not seeing. Of course, I said anything could be debunked, and that's fine. But I do think that it does exist. Most likely. Because it's like you're in the woods and you see something and it's like no one believes you. That's messed up. So I'd rather be proven wrong later than someone really sees something we can't explain and they're right. Some people think that they're interdimensional. Someone said an explanation is because someone's smoking weed. Hilarious. Anyway, so all right, so that is another thing we'll mention is that. All right, good. And I'm going to see what's the other one called? Oh, here we go. Aboriginal people have reference to Bigfoot, Sasquatch for hundreds of years. Ah, okay. So Eugene says, I'm still trying to figure out the giant rabbit I saw when I was a kid in my grandparents' house in West Virginia. Exactly, Eugene. I believe that there's some animals and cryptids that we just can't explain that are there that we cannot exactly, we haven't discovered yet. And as I said, I believe there's explanations for these things that we'll find out later. I saw a bug sometimes, and it like stands upright like a person, and it has wings like a fairy. I've seen it. It looks like a little fairy, and it has a real hard shell to it. The Arnold Schwarzenegger rabbit. I say that it'll be funny. Well, I do believe that you saw that, and there's some explanation for it. I'll see what I can look up about it, if we could find any kind of cryptid. A mini Mothman, that's possible, Eugene. Maybe it's like what Jamie said, it's a mini Mothman. Peach, her friend, caught in a tree through the camera, the tree cam footage of a giant, a Mothman creature-looking thing in a tree. So that is quite fascinating that could be true. Yes, Liberty, I think it could be from another dimension coming in and out. Like, there's like, say with Interstellar, he was in a place where he could be in other dimensions, and there's different time, place, and space. So I believe that there are other universes, other dimensions that they're coming through, and this is a pseudoscience, but I believe in the future we'll find out more about them.
What happened to Candy?
Mothman movie scared me. It was tall as an old oil drum and had gray eyes. It had gray alien eyes. Oh, it had one of those things. Okay, so maybe it was a hybrid. Maybe they created a hybrid creature. Remember, we're talking about the fallen angels creating hybrid creatures. Maybe that's one of those things. Or people might think, to put it in layman's terms for people, it could be something an alien made. It could be some creature that we do not know an explanation of how it works. It could be something like that too. All right. A mysterious helper. The dude told me last night about the mysterious helper. A mysterious helper can be interpreted in various ways, referring to a hidden or unknown person entity that precedes assistance in a situation. In the context of KATLVIK website, the Core Ediwag, the mysterious helper, refers to a specific artwork by Simon Tokomi. The Bermuda Triangle is another one, that's true, yes. A secret benefactor, someone who quietly provides help without revealing their identity or intentions. A supernatural or magical being, a spirit or otherworldly entity that assists in a situation, perhaps unknowingly or unintentionally, a metaphorical representation of fate or destiny, a mysterious force that guides us into or interferes in a person's life. And this person was in the chat was a troll type person in some other stream I was in, but he wasn't. He was just saying nothing really too bad, just kind of playful stuff. And does not believe in God. And then I was talking to him about God, and then this other like troll type person came in, and then they were trolling each other. So they were light. They were light. Then towards the end, he cut the act, and he told me about the mysterious helper and about the skunk ape, and it was a very good conversation. This is at 5 in the morning, so I stayed up all the way until 5 in the morning, and it's going to 6 in the morning. And then I went to 8 in the morning because I went to 2 other streams to talk to some friends, and I'm like cranked up like a firecracker sometimes. Like I just, it's quite my life's very interesting. So then what happened next was he was telling me that the mysterious helper is like you're in the woods somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and a person helps you. He was talking about a person helps you, or they got food, or they got out of a situation, and somebody helped them, and that he was believing that it was your mind playing tricks on you when you're in a stressful situation. But he didn't deny though that these people in these situations claim some person supernaturally helped them in these situations. Maybe it's an angel, or maybe God. Those that believe in God. Maybe it's people don't believe in God. They could believe in spirits, or people that believe in none of these things could. It was some sort of the brain doing some sort of a psychological phenomena. For those that don't believe in the spiritual or religious stuff, it's something that happens though. Yeah, and there's a theory that the Bermuda Triangle and the Dragon Triangle are connected. And see, Dragon Triangle. The Devil's Sea. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Devil's Triangle, yeah, it's also called the Dragon's Triangle too. It's the Dragon's Triangle and the Devil's Triangle too. Also known as the Dragon Triangle, the Formosa Triangle, and the Pacific Bermuda Triangle is a region of the Pacific south of Tokyo that the Devil's Sea is sometimes considered a paranormal location, though vicinity of those claims has been questioned. So it's a theory that they're both connected and it's some sort of a wormhole. Occurrences. Numerous ship and aircraft have disappeared in the Dragon's Triangle, located between Japan and the Philippines and Guam. It's known for unexplained incidents and fueled speculation about supernatural and extraterrestrial causes, while some attribute these occurrences to natural phenomena like volcanic activity or extreme weather. Others remain convinced of a more mysterious explanation. Oh, the Devil's Gate. Okay. Wyoming. Thank you so much, Liberty. Don't smoke the devil's lettuce. I'm scared. Thank you, Liberty, for this. Yeah, thank you. South Atlantic anomaly. Lake Anjuni and Jinkuni. Devil's Sea, Biglow Ranch, Point Pleasant. Wow. Thank you, Liberty. Devil's Gate is a context of geographic features, refers to a narrow gorge on the Sweetwater River in Wyoming, a significant landmark of Oregon, and a Mormon trails. They're called Latter Day Saints, by the way, LDS. It's a 1,500 foot long, 370 foot deep, and 50-foot wide canyon, carved by the river through a ridge of solid rock. The gorge was a notable feature for emergents who often camped and visited it, but was unplausible for wagons. We have Hell's Gate and Devil's Island, Possum Kingdom Lake. Ah, okay. Thank you, Liberty. All right. We are the second Possum Kingdom over here. The park, notably for wild variety of wildlife for its scenery, this includes Fisher Tower, Central, and Hell's Gate Gorge National Parks. And all right, and why is Hell's Gate banned? No, that's not the same thing. Okay. Thank you, Liberty. We will certainly do a stream about this. Also, videos and stream. In Devil's Island in Guania. You've been to Getty. Oh, okay. Oh, we have Hell's Gate and Devil's Island, Possum Kingdom Lake. Devil's Island, Texas. Oh no, wait. I think she might have meant something else. Am I getting this wrong? Did I get it right? Yeah, I got it right. All right, I got it. I got it. Texas Devil's Island refers to prominent island and associated cliffs with Possum Kingdom Lake. This area is known for the stunning natural beauty and attracts visitors for cliff jumping and other outdoor activities, notably Hell's Gate and Formations area and iconic landmarks on the lake. Thank you, Liberty. Thank you. Thank you, Liberty. Hell's Gate Party Cave. Events in Hell's Gate Island. 4th of July every year. Fireworks. That's so cool. Shout out to Hell's Gate. That is cool. Showing the wrong window. Very pretty. Very pretty. Yeah, certainly go there one day. And Possum Kingdom, I like that. And Awesome Kingdom. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okie dokie. Okay. Now we're gonna go to this. All right. Okay. Thank you, Liberty. We will do another stream about that, and also we'll do streams on the other factors with the what's it called? The aliens underwater. Right. So now I'm gonna be ending the stream, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. And this is the greatest channel on the interwebs, on the internets. A very good community of people of all their blue wrenches. I appreciate all of you very much. And we are united, and we are proud to be aliens in the spaceship. All right. So I hope all of you have a great evening and good day tomorrow. And you too, Eugene, my friend, thank you. And everybody else have a, probably go live tomorrow. All right, so peace.